Hey everybody, we're here today in Falmouth, Massachusetts. We've got a project boat that's going on for On the Water magazine and television, and it's a beautiful 32 regulator that they're totally refitting. I'm also here with John Crowbar at Holdfast Marine. He's an ACI or an Airmar certified installer right here in Falmouth, Mass. He's doing a lot of the work on the boat. John, what do you got going for electronics on the boat?
So we're going to do a Simrad 24 NSO, a Simrad NSS 7 Evo 3, and a Simrad NSS 9 Evo 3. Halo open array radar, side scan 3D, satellite weather, whole package.
Wow, all right, so they're doing it up right. And of course we're here to talk about the transducers. And currently in this boat, there's a B175M that's mounted in the keel of the boat that we're gonna, on a separate project, cover. But today we're gonna talk about the B60 that's on here that we're gonna replace out with the B175 medium. Now the boat's going from conventional, traditional 200 kilohertz, 50 kilohertz transducers to full chirp. So they're gonna see a really marked improvement in the fish finding capability. And between the B275, which is low and high wide, as well as the B175, which is medium, they've kind of got all frequencies covered.
Yeah, there's no gaps in the coverage. With the side scan, if you mark something, you can verify what you mark with a different frequency and really see if it's actually there.
Excellent. So between the two transducers, they got everything covered, from stripers in the bay and 20 feet of water right out to making the big run out for tuna. So we're gonna get going. John's gonna walk us through all the steps, and hopefully you learn something. Okay, so we're ready to put the new transducer in. One of the things we want to do is we want to straighten the cable out and take all of these rolls out of it, so when we feed it back up through the hole, it doesn't go up all curly and unmanageable. So I'm just going to stretch it out here on the floor and take all of these loops out.
And I'm going to clean an edge around for the lip of the transducer to sit, and it'll give us a good bond for fiberglass to the sealant, the 4200 that we're going to use to put this transducer in. Right now I'm just cleaning up all the dust from the hole and from where I sanded the bottom paint off. So I sanded bottom paint off the bottom of the boat, so when the transducer meets the bottom of the hull, the 4200 will have a nice substrate to adhere to, and it'll adhere to the transducer. So we'll have this sealing, and we'll also have sealant in the stem just to assure that you don't have any leaks.
So what we want to do is we want to dry fit before we do any of the sealant on here to make sure our spacing is correct. So we've got all of our washers and spacers ready to go. John has pushed up the transducer into place, put the spacers on, the washers on. Now, per the instructions, we want to make sure that when that second washer goes on, that we've got at least 3 threads showing. Okay, so this looks pretty good. It's going to be tight. We want to have 1 thread showing when we get this when we get this hull nut on. So let's spin that on, see how we come up. So as you can see, there's not 1 thread showing. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to take this spacer. John will cut it down in height, so that we're going to be able to see at least 1 thread sticking above the hull net. So we're going to take it out, do the cut, make sure it fits, and be good to go. All right, so when we checked before, when we dry fit, we knew that we needed to create a little more space so that we had at least 1 thread showing above the hull nut. John's gone to his shop and he cut this down. We took about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch off of this, and it should be plenty for what we need to do. We're going to dry fit it one more time, make sure we've got the spacing right, and then we'll be ready for the final install. All right, plenty there, John. Plenty of threads. You should be good to go. Looks good.
we're getting ready to put the transducer in. I've prepped the bottom. We've taken the bottom paint off. We've drilled our hole. We've enlarged it. Now it's time to use the sealant and to put the transducer in. So we have 3M Marine 4200 is what I like to use. If the boat's going to go in the water shortly, we'll use 5200. It's March, so we're fine. So what I like to do is I'll take the hull thickness, which is about 1 inch, make sure that we at least have silicone on this side into the hull thickness. I'll go higher, so I'll come up to about here on the transducer.
So that's phase 1 done for the on-the-water TV boat that we're doing here. We took the B60 out. We got the B175 medium in place, ready to go to connect up to the Simrad units when they get installed. Our second phase in this, we're gonna take the B260 conventional transducer out of the pocket, and we're gonna install a B275 low high wide in there. This boat's gonna be ready to go with low, medium, and high wide frequencies hooked up to the Simrad system. That's our second video. We hope you watch it.